If you're stuck in your head all the time, going back and forth and second guessing every single decision that you make, then this episode is for you. Overthinking doesn't feel like fear. It looks like you're being careful. It feels like you're being smart, but it's not helping you move. And deep down, you know that, and it's often frustrating. So today I want to show you why this keeps happening and how to finally stop talking yourself out of doing everything that you care about. I get it because I've lived it. I used to stay stuck in my head too, but I learned how to break that pattern, and today I'm going to help you do the same. The first point is that you were taught to please, not to decide for yourself. You learned from an early age not to rock the boat because that decision to not rock the boat actually felt safer for you than to actually take a risk and to decide to do something. Society tells you not to rock the boat. How you were brought up might have told you not to rock the boat. The things that we learned tell you not to rock the boat, because when you rock the boat, you disrupt what is deemed to be normal, and you disrupt that whole process of how you're supposed to live. So you typically tend to please that image that society and the people around you puts on you, and you want to protect that because you feel that by not going against the grain, you're actually living the quote-unquote normal life. So you tend not to decide to do the things that you want to do yourself, but rather follow the norm and do what other people are doing. And that, for someone that has ambition, someone that wants to do something that is completely different from everybody else, you're going to feel that every single day. And you know that deep down, that you're not deciding to live the life that you want to live. You're not deciding to accomplish the goals that you want to accomplish because you're trying to please instead of deciding. You confuse overthinking with being thoughtful. I have to think about it some more. I don't have all the information yet. I just have to learn this. I just have to talk to this person. I just have to figure this thing out. I'm a thoughtful person because society has taught you that being thoughtful is the way that you need to live your life, which is not a wrong lesson. And yes, you need to be thoughtful in your life. You need to be thoughtful to your decisions and the people around you, but you can't use thoughtfulness as an excuse to not take action. The reality is that oftentimes we have what we need in order to make a decision. Oftentimes what's holding us back is because we are afraid of being wrong. We are afraid of making a decision because when you make a decision, there's two things that can happen. You either are going to be right about your decision or you're going to be wrong about your decision. And the only way to find out whether you're right or wrong, funny thing is, you actually have to make that decision. And oftentimes humans are afraid to fail. They're afraid to be wrong more often than they are to actually succeed. So you feel that being thoughtful and trying to check all the boxes first before you actually make that decision is going to give you a higher chance of succeeding, which it might to some degree, but there reaches a certain point where you're just now procrastinating because you're afraid. So you need to understand that being thoughtful is great, but at a certain point you have to make a decision. If this is speaking to you, you don't have to do this alone. Subscribe to the channel. I drop new episodes every week to help you stop overthinking and to start trusting yourself again. So let's get back into it. You learned to ask before you act. You have it engraved in your brain. You have it engraved in your mind that before you do anything, you have to ask for permission. You have to ask for validation. So you find yourself looking to podcasts. You find yourself looking to content. You find yourself looking to your parents, looking to your friends to validate your thoughts, validate your ideas, validate your goals, because you're afraid to act without having someone else guarantee that the thing that you want to do is actually going to work out. That's a very interesting thing, because there's a world where you can seek mentorship, you can seek coaching, you can seek things from other people who have done it and who have been where you are, and they can help you co-sign and validate some of those decisions. But oftentimes you know what you want to do, but you're just leaning on other people's check mark and hoping that the only way you'll actually move forward on something is when someone else says it's okay to do. But that's not really the way that you should be approaching your goals. That's the way that you live when you're scared to actually do your goals. What you really need to do is get all the information that you need, know what you want, talk to the people that can help you get it, and then you just need to cross that bridge, take that step, and do it, even if those around you don't co-sign that decision. This will lead you to always thinking why things don't feel clear. No matter how much you research, no matter how much you try to get more and more information, nothing feels clear because you're constantly looking for that validation. And you have to understand that that'll lead to overthinking. And the only way to get over that is to take the action. Take the action and let that be your answer. Let you taking action, getting the result, be the answer and the validation one way or another. Next one is you want to be 100% sure, 100% clear about something before you move on it. There's a misconception that you need to understand about clarity. Things don't become clear to you until you actually do it. You're not clear about the decision that you need to make. You're not clear about your goals. You're not clear about your ambitions until you get the results. Meaning that if you want to be 100% clear about something that you're thinking of doing, there's only one way, and that is to actually do the thing, get the results, and then you will know for sure whether you were correct or you were wrong or you learned something from that. You never are clear before actually doing the thing. And that's something that I had to realize, and something that you need to realize too as well, is you can spend your whole entire life ruminate something, thinking about something, trying to be clear about something, and actually never accomplish that thing. Because the act of accomplishment is the act of getting 100% clarity. There is a framework that I live by now, and a framework that I have covered in other videos, and it is the 80% rule. And the 80% rule is a decision that you can make that if you can just get 80% there, then take that decision. If you can just get 80% prepared, learn 80% of the thing, then you will take that decision and go ahead and do that thing. Because you often will spend months and years trying to cover the rest of that 20%. That 20% is where you will research, it's where you will ask people, you will talk to 10, 20 people about an idea, and you will read books, you will watch podcasts, and actually never do it because you're trying to get 100% clarity on that 20%. And that is where you're going to spend years overthinking and not actually doing that thing that you want to do. So follow the 80% rule. Get 80% of the way there, then take the leap, and the rest of that 20% will come after you get the results. Next one is you think your dream is too much for someone like you. This one is an interesting one because there's a lot to unpack once you realize this. There's a lot to dive into introspectively in your own mind, in your own life, and your environment, because it gets to the root and the core of your past, your upbringing, how you grew up, who was around you, what influenced you. Because if you feel like your dream is too much for someone like you, that really you can translate that to I am not good enough. The interesting thing about that is you can be both ambitious and have these thoughts of not being good enough and not deserving the thing that you want to get. You can want to be an entrepreneur. You can want to be a content creator. You can want to be an athlete, and you feel passionate about that. You know you can develop the skills, or you know you have the talent, but then there's a voice in your head that tells you that someone like you can't have that thing. You're not good enough to have that thing. You don't deserve to have that thing. That voice will result in you shrinking when you get close to that thing, because you're going to resort to self-sabotage. You're going to resort to negative self-talk, and you're going to make a lot of progress. But the moment you get to the point where you start to see yourself becoming that entrepreneur, you start to see yourself becoming the content creator or the athlete, it scares the heck out of you to the point where you will do things that will completely derail that. You will start to procrastinate. You will start to not do the habits that you were doing. You'll start to really sabotage that whole dream because you're afraid of succeeding. You're afraid of being a person who deserves that thing because that voice in your head keeps telling you that you're just not built for it. That's a voice that you have to confront, and you have to truly be honest about yourself and really realize that you're living in a victim mentality. And you need to change that energy from a victim mentality to more of a hero mentality and live your life as if you were the own hero of your own story. And the hero of a story is someone that wants something, has a problem, and they seek to go find the answer to overcome it. And ultimately they overcome it and experience success. That's how you need to view your life and how you need to live your life, as if you are the hero of your own story, and realize that you may not be someone that can run a business. You may not be someone that can be a successful content creator, but here's what you can do. You can choose to do the things that someone who is that thing will do. For example, if you want to be a content creator, but you don't have the skill set yet, you don't have the ability to deliver your message and to tell a story yet, but you know people within that space, or you watch people online within that space that are doing that thing, watch what they're doing, learn from what they're doing, watch their habits, and watch how they're doing that thing, and then choose to then say, I am also going to do those things and learn to do those things, even if I don't feel like it. I don't feel like I'm an athlete, but I'm going to train like one. I don't feel like I'm an entrepreneur, but I'm going to start building a side hustle that's going to turn into a business. I don't feel like a content creator, but I'm going to turn on my camera and I'm going to make YouTube videos. You will find that the more you do that, the more you start to become the entrepreneur, the content creator, the athlete, whatever the thing is you want to become. The more you do those characteristics and build those habits of someone that is that thing, is the more you're actually going to now start to feel like that thing, and you start to feel like you deserve it and that you're built for it. The next one is you treat indecision or not making a decision like a safety net. You say that I have a decision to make. I want to accomplish XYZ, but I can't quite decide if I should do it because I still haven't learned the skill, or I don't know this type of equipment that I need in order to do this thing. So because I can't decide yet, I'm just not going to do it. I'm just not going to do it until I feel like I'm ready to decide. And oftentimes we feel that leaning on that ability, or rather leaning on that indecision, is a safety net, because we're kind of just putting it off to the side for now. We have this great idea, we have this wonderful thing that's going to help us accomplish our goals or even change our life, but we're not really sure yet. But you know what? I'm just going to put it off here to the side and keep it safe until I'm ready. But here's the interesting part. When you do that, when you put it off to a side, you're actually giving up on your goals. You're actually deciding that you don't care all that much about that thing. You actually care more about the things that you do in your life, but you don't care about the things that you want to do because you're putting them off to the side because you just don't feel like you're ready to make that decision. Like, you realize that and you start to think about the things that you put off in that mindset, that I'm giving up on them. It completely changes how you view your life and how you view your dreams and your mission and vision in life, because now you will feel all the emotions that come with that, knowing that you're giving up on a dream. That should fire you up. That should wake you up. And that should scare you, because it's true. You're giving up on it and you're never going to accomplish it when you put it off to the side. The only way that you're actually even going to have a chance to realize and accomplish something is when you take it and you take action on it and move it along, even if you don't feel like you're ready. Going into the next one, and that is you think that you need more time. The one thing that you never get back in life is time. It never, ever comes back. The more time you waste, the less that you get and the less that you'll be able to accomplish. And you can never get it back. So when you tell yourself that you need more time, you're thinking that more time will fix it. More time will help you make a decision on the thing that you're trying to avoid. It's not that you need more time, it's that you need to choose. You need to choose a lane and you need to choose a road that you need to walk by. If you're not choosing to do something, you're really stagnant and not doing anything apart from just living and not accomplishing your goals and objectives. That's assuming if you want to accomplish the things that you want to accomplish in life. Now, if you're happy with your life and where you are and things are working out for you and you don't want to make certain decisions, you don't have to. You really, really don't have to. I'm talking to the person that is quietly sitting right now, watching this video, listening to this episode, and wanting to do something, wanting to move on a dream, on a goal, but they just don't feel like they're ready. That's the person that needs to understand that you don't have time. You don't have time to sit and to wonder. You don't have time to put things off. What you have time for is to learn. What you have time for is to open your computer, open your phone, go on YouTube, go on Google and search how to do the thing. If you don't know how to do it, go search the people that are doing it and learn from them. Go figure out how to get started. Time is not on your side, and you need to live like time is not on your side, because that is the truth. It's really not. Going into the next one, you keep asking, what if I fail? This is a question that I still ask myself all the time that I start doing something new, something challenging, something outside of my comfort zone. What if I fail? It's a very, very dumb question. I hate to say it, but it's a very, very dumb question because the answer to it is insanely simple and very insulting. And the reason why I say that is when you ask yourself, what if I fail? The answer to that is nothing. You learn. You learn. What if I fail? Well, you fail, but you learn. Think about that. If you fail, are the people that truly love you in your life, your friends and your family, are they going to look at you any different? Most likely not. Are they going to treat you any different? Most likely not. Oftentimes they actually respect you more for trying the thing that you want to try and standing bold on that decision. Now, the people that have emotions and insecurities and might not like you, of course they're going to feel some type of way and say something, but really think about your true loved ones. If you fail at something that you truly were passionate about and you truly put 100% of your effort into and you really wanted to do, what's the worst that could happen? The worst that could happen is you learn to persevere. You learn resilience, the ability to bounce back. You learn how to deal with failure. You learn about growth and development. You learn your abilities and what you can do. Those are all benefits. That's all upside. But we're stuck on that question, what if I fail, thinking that you're losing something. Sure, your ego might take a hit, which mine has plenty of times, and it still will. And I hope it will in the future because it means I'm moving towards something. You might feel bad, but ultimately you'll become better and you'll learn, and it's data that you can then use to pivot. So instead of asking yourself, what if I fail? Flip that and ask. Anytime you find yourself asking, what if I fail? What if I succeed? What happens? If you go and you build that side hustle and you build that business, what would your life look like if you succeeded? If you went and started that YouTube channel or that podcast, what would happen if it actually succeeded? If you went and trained and you became an athlete and you were competing, what could happen from that, right? Your whole life could change once you start thinking in that hero energy and less of that victim mentality, and realizing that life will write your story for you. It will. You can sit on the sidelines, life will write your story for you, but you can also choose to co-write your story with life and be an active participant in writing that story when you choose not what if I fail in life, but rather what if I do this thing and I succeed. The next one is you think that confidence comes after you get the results. Confidence is built through the journey. The journey is what cultivates confidence, not the results. The results is what you get after you go through the journey. But where the growth is built and where the confidence comes in is the repetition, not huge jumping. Repetition of doing small thing after small thing after small thing consistently is what's going to build confidence. Oftentimes you believe that the only way to get confidence, because you see this in other people that are confident, is just being good at something, right? But nobody is just good at something. There are people that are talented at things. There are people that are naturally more inclined to do well at other things just because of genetics, right? One of my favorite quotes from Bill Bessick, a sports psychologist, is that genetics deals the hands, but the environment plays the cards. Meaning that you are born with what you have. You are born with the talents you have and the affinities to different things that you have. You're born with that. But how you utilize that is up to you. How you maximize the skills that you have, which you do have, is up to you. And in order to be confident in those skills and be confident in those things, you actually have to go through the journey. You have to go through the growth and development. You have to develop the courage to take the next step. And then ultimately you develop the confidence in order to step up to challenges and take them on head on. Going into the next one is that you're waiting for permission. You're waiting for someone to come save you. Here's the thing you need to realize. No one is coming to save you. You have to save yourself. You have to be the one that has to walk this journey in life, and you have to be the one that takes the steps forward in order to move your life, in order to co-write your story with life. No one's going to do that for you. There are people that love you, of course. There are friends and family that are going to be there for you. They'll motivate you, they'll encourage you, they'll try to hold you up. Ultimately, you have to realize that. One of my favorite quotes is, "A man becomes a man when he realizes that no one is coming to save him and that he has to take the step himself." So if you want to build confidence, if you want to stop overthinking and you want to actually start accomplishing things, you have to realize that you take the next step. The greatest step a person can take is not the first step, it's not the second step, it's always the next one. So you have to decide to take the next step. If you are done living for everyone else, then this next episode right here is for you. I'm going to show you how to stop caring what people think and how to start living for you. So check it out right here.